Hello, everyone. Today, I want to share with you two simple phrases that have helped me build friends and relationships with people all over the world and transform absolute strangers into friends. Imagine yourself arriving in a foreign land for the first time, a place where you don't know anybody, where you don't speak the language, where you don't even have a phone, and you sure as hell don't know whether one person who was supposed to come pick you up disappeared. That's exactly the situation I found myself in 10 years ago on the streets of Athens, Greece. I was there to work for the Olympics, but my prearranged pickup failed to show up. So all I needed then was to borrow a phone, but everywhere I turned, things were literally all Greek to me. And that is when my time that I spent in the other Athens proved invaluable. Now, Athens, Ohio is home to Ohio University, and my sports management program is one of the top rated in the world. So my cohort had people from several countries, one of whom happened to be from Greece. Now, I remembered a couple of phrases I'd learned from her, and in my desperation, I just walked up to the next person on the street and said, Yasu Kalimera phone? Finally, someone stopped. A frown turned into a smile, and I knew I'd be okay. I had experienced this phenomenon growing up in India, where the number of languages we speak are probably only exceeded by the number of gods, goddesses, and gurus we worship. Speak to the local grocer in his native language, and you've got your best shot for a bargain. And God knows every Indian loves to bargain. So coming back to Greece, I experienced the same cultural richness like India and made a lot of friends in some very high places, simply by greeting or thanking Olympic and Paralympic athletes in their own language. Now, this was really eye-opening for me, but part of me still wondered, how would something like this work in a place where virtually everybody spoke English? Well, 4 years later, my mom and grandmother came to visit us from India for the first time, and we took them to Disney World. And there I had my answer. Now, my grandmother is a young 80-year-old and an absolute Disney princess at heart. Even though her choice of preferred Hollywood movies doesn't always reflect that. Now, she was really excited, but also a little apprehensive as to what to expect. We made our way in there, walked to Expedition Everest, which is basically a roller coaster set in the foothills of the Himalayas bordering India and Nepal. Coming closer, we see the sign that says hello or welcome in our language, and even shows us where to find Coke. Or as my grandmother still insists on calling it, Coca-Cola. In that one instant, this strange land thousands of miles away from home suddenly became a place she can relate to. That one sign of hello had just brought the outside in and made us all feel welcome. So how hard can it be to greet people in their own language? Let's find out right now. I'd like to request every one of you to quickly, please stand up and repeat after me. Ni hao. Ni hao. Excellent. Let's try one more. Please join your hands together and repeat. Na. Mas. Te. Namaste. Well, you, my friends, have just learned to greet 1 out of every 3 people on this planet. Please be seated. The world over, more people live in places that speak a language other than English. And that doesn't even include the millions of tourists like my grandmother, who might simply be visiting another place. Imagine the positive impact, the memorable guest experiences, the bridges built and the barriers broken, If only governments, parks and recreation, sports, tourism, leisure, dining, entertainment, schools, colleges, universities, every one of them visibly celebrates this linguistic diversity, whether it's through signs greeting or thanking people in their language, or even people who can learn to do so. My journey led me to create letsayhello.com, the home for my initiative built from the words bonjour, hola, hello, or bolo. Bolo, incidentally, also means speak or speak up in Hindi, including many other national languages of India. And today I want to challenge every single one of you to think of somebody you know, a friend, colleague, neighbor, customer, business partner, maybe just an ethnic restaurant that you frequent. Learn to greet and thank them in their language, and the next time you meet them, bolo. Speak up and see how differently they will react. Now keep in mind, this isn't just about learning a few words in someone else's language. This is really about empathy and seeing the world from someone else's eyes. In today's increasingly self-centered times, when it's all about followers and likes and retweets, where even the Oxford 2013 word of the year was selfie. This might be just one small way to ensure we don't just focus on being human, but also on being humane. Having said that, I'd love to take a selfie with this terrific crowd. Please smile. Thank you for probably the first ever selfie on a live TED or TEDx stage. I think Ellen DeGeneres' Oscar selfie now has competition. But in closing, just imagine if all 7 billion of us took just the one extra step towards each other, not to judge, insult, or harm someone, but simply to smile and say hello. Wouldn't that be a world worth living in and an idea worth doing? Gracias, obrigado, merci, danke, efkaristo, spasiba, dhanyavad, shukran, arigato, sheshe, mahalo, thank you, and last but not the least,